Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your co-host, Boomer Gato, the cat that hands your advertising space back. And to my left over here is the main man, Sister the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form that dynamic duo that won't die. Daily ideas, run and spice your content than your girls' only fans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So we actually recorded about 4 other videos that I was going to throw up. But this topic came up within the last day or so, and we just felt we needed to jump on it because my man here especially loves to talk about our next guest, Elon fucking Musk. Now, you may be asking yourself, what did the man do? Why has he asked for the wrath of the Miscellaneous Minds crew? Here's what he did. So this man went on to do an interview in front of a bunch of people. There was actually a few CEOs as well in the audience listening to Elon Musk give an interview. Now, Elon Musk says a lot of stupid shit. We all see it. He apologizes for it a day later, and then he goes on about his day saying more stupid shit. Now, what makes this any different? Well, he was asked, how can you continue to keep saying all these things, posting all these conspiracy theories, basically making anti-Semitic comments, or at least agreeing with them, and still expect to keep your advertisers coming in? And he basically stated, if you're going to blackmail me with money, and this is a quote, go fuck yourself. Now, when he said that, I think he was expecting to get a big old applause or a big old laugh and a big, yay, the man is standing up. He got nothing. Dead silent. The interviewer wanted to make sure he wasn't tripping, make sure he wasn't hearing wrong. He went in there to clarify before he could even get a couple words out of his mouth. Elon Musk said, let me make it clear. Go fuck yourself. GFY. Elon Musk said that. And at the very end of that comment there, the man said, hey, how's it going, Bob? Basically meaning Bob Iger Disney, which is one of the advertisers that has pulled their advertising from Twitter. Now, a little bit further in the interview, he was asked, and this is the part that I personally thought was the most hilarious. Well, doesn't Twitter need advertisers to continue as a business? And at this point, you can visibly see Elon Musk stutter, and eventually come up with, oh yeah, well, I apologize, and blah, blah, blah. Then even mentioned his CEO of advertising that was apparently there, saying, hey, look, man, you're making her job more difficult. Now, when he started to stutter, the man seemed like, shit, they're right. I need the money to keep on advertising. Elon Musk even said, I guess if all these advertisers pull out, we'll know exactly who killed Twitter, meaning the advertisers for pulling out. And basically at that point saying, we will document it and it will be very well documented. Like, bro, is that a threat? We know. We don't care. Listen, you have taken a knife to Twitter. You have made it your goal to make this company not viable because you just won't shut the fuck up. If anyone needs to go fuck yourself, it's you. Now, I'm going to let my man here give his opinion on this because I know it's going to be oh so salty. Like a big old bag of chips because he does not like the man. What do you think about that, my man?
Okay, I have a lot to say on this matter. First and foremost, the fact that this man he never thinks about his actions moving forward. He doesn't think about the ramifications of what he's doing. He doesn't really follow through on that's the worst part. He doesn't follow through at all. This man is neither a engineering genius, a web development genius. He's not even a marketing genius. How do I know that? It wasn't that long ago. It was actually reported, I think, on September 23rd. I think he was doing some other tech summit, completely separate from this one, where he was basically addressing, more layout changes for Twitter, for X. I'm going to get to that in a second. Layout changes, infrastructure, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. There was at one part where he accidentally acknowledged X.com, which is, by the way, he wants you to say. He's like, don't call it Twitter. It's not Twitter. It's X.com. I want you to keep calling it X.com. I would be mad otherwise. actually made a slip up and said Twitter, X.com, formerly Twitter, and everybody had a big laugh about that. If this man is so insistent, I want you to call it X. It's not Twitter anymore, it's X. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's Twitter still. This man couldn't even change the IRL. But believe it or not, if you type in twitter.com, it'll lead you to it. Even it's not even listed as x.com. It's still twitter.com. The URL is still on it. So even from a marketing standpoint, this man does not know what the hell he is on about. It's a small thing, but it was something I wanted to bring up. Because in that same tech conference, he actually bragged about bringing in more advertisers. And he was like, yeah, we brought in more advertisers. So, that's a good thing for us. So which is it? Do you care about advertisers or do you not care about advertisers? You can't stand tough and say, oh, we don't need them. But in the same breath, not 4 months ago, said, oh yeah, we brought in more advertisers. Good for us. You can't applaud yourself in bringing more advertisers in and still saying, oh, we don't need them at the end of the day. We'll let the court of public opinion decide that. And my thing is, okay, if the money's not going to come from advertisers, what do you expect to bring in any profit? Because keep in mind, it used to be, I believe it was 40 million or 40 billion. I can't remember. I want to say 40 million, and now it's worth 16 million.
40 billion.
Okay, even worse. A $40 billion website, and he brought it down $30 billion less than what it used to be worth. And he's saying, okay, well, we don't need advertisers. My question is, where is that money going to come from then? Because I can guarantee you, people only ever use Twitter for shit posts and advertising whatever side hustle they got. Whether it's some art side hustle or OF. Let's be real, OF. I see a lot of advertising for that on there. Self-promoted. It's not from any corporate dealings like, McDonald's or Disney or Netflix or whatever. It's personal side hustle things. It's basically Tumblr. Let's be real about it. It's basically Tumblr. So if you're not going to get any money from advertising, where do you think he's going to try and siphon off that money from? Because he's been talking about subscriptions for, X Blue or Twitter Blue, whatever you want to call it. His subscription service that says, okay, you can still use it for free, but it's a subscription service that gives you a little bit more availability for other functions for the website. I guarantee you, the majority of people that are on there to shit post or self-advertise are not going to be paying that much money for shit posting or advertising if they can do it elsewhere, like Facebook or Instagram, or hell, Threads is picking up, which is Instagram's basically their own version of Twitter. And yes, I'm still calling it Twitter because if he wants to dead name his own child and by his own extension, his own website, guess what? I can do it too. So if he wants to do that, cool. You're not going to get a cent out of me in that case. Because if you're not going to pull it from advertisers, I can tell you for damn sure it's not going to come out of me or anybody else that's using the platform. So my question is, what is your end goal here? If you're not going to pull money from advertising, if you've lost $30 billion ever since you started hosting the site yourself, and every single thing that you've been adding to the website has arguably made it worse, what is your end goal here? Are you actively trying to sink your own company that you bought, that you've been trying to rebrand as something that's your creation, much like you did with Tesla? What are you trying to do?
Listen, my man, I'll keep it 100 with you. I think this is the perfect example of a rich baby doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Elon, when he bought it for the $44 billion that he bought it for, there's a million and one things that I'm sure he could have hired the best minds to come and see what they could have done to monetize it, to make it better, so on and so forth. There's a million and one things this man, I'm sure, could have came up with, could have done, so on and so forth. Again, he has all the money in the world to be able to pursue that. Now, the fact that he can't just shut the fuck up is what dooms him. And here's the thing. He's not the only one. There's plenty of other big baby billionaires that just don't know when to shut the fuck up. And that's the problem is. If they were just to stay quiet. See, that's the problem. I've often heard this saying that if a man can't sit in a room alone without making any noise, he's eventually going to doom himself. Basically saying, look, man, if you can't learn to fucking control yourself, eventually you're going to meet your end. And this is the problem with these people that have had all these yes men around them for God knows how long. They constantly have somebody in the ear telling them, oh, you're so fucking great. They have all these fucking fanboys that fucking lick their fucking balls just because they say some stupid shit. Again, listen, if you want to throw away $44 billion, by all means, it's your money. Do you, big dog, do you. But let's be honest here. I personally think when he made that offer, I think he was just doing that big talk. I think he didn't understand that when he made that offer, he was basically putting his foot in his mouth by, unfortunately, making an offer that by Twitter, they, by their due diligence, by their having to respect the shareholders, they have to take on all offers. They have to say, hey, if we're being offered money that'll be lucrative for the shareholders, it is our responsibility. It is our legal responsibility to pursue this. I think he spoke way out of turn. I don't think he really knew what he was getting into. I think he's just so used to talking shit and talking big and bad and no one ever correcting him, no consequences, to his big mouth, that he talked himself into a deal that was clearly shitty. Look, even before Elon Musk took over, Twitter was not making money. However, they were losing a lot less money than they're losing at the rate now. But it's because, again, the man won't shut the fuck up. And here's the thing. People like him will never learn to shut the fuck up until they truly, truly, truly go bankrupt. Or, I guess in the case of the super rich, kind of bankrupt. They'll still have a few million, that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, this city is just a perfect example, much like, again, a bunch of other big baby billionaires. They just don't know when to shut the fuck up. So I have absolutely no sympathy for this man losing anything. And I honestly, truly hope that he gets every single penny's worth of talking shit that he can. Because at this point, I think he's accepted that Twitter is going to die. He's trying to put it off on someone else. He's trying to say, we will know who and it will be well documented. My man, if you just shut the fuck up like you said you were going to do, Twitter will probably not die for many years, maybe even decades. But we are where we are. And unfortunately, this man is never going to shut the fuck up. You want to tell the advertisers to go fuck themselves? Guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell you to go fuck yourself right back. Anything else you want to add to that, my man?
Yes, I remember a long time ago, there was actually somebody that made well, we can't call it a tweet now because now he's lost brand recognition with that too for calling for. No, he just wanted to call it a post. Anyways, there was something there was a post that somebody made on Twitter before he acquired it. Actually, no, it was after he acquired it. There was a post that somebody made that said, "Look, I used to think that Elon Musk was a genius about rocket engineering because I was not a rocket engineer myself, so I took him at his word. Then he started entering into car engineering. I didn't know anything about car engineering, so again, I took him at his word. Then he started entering web development, and I sat up because I was a web developer. And then I started hearing everything that he's been doing to Twitter with its layout and its infrastructure, and now I'm thinking, I don't think he knows anything about cars or rockets now that I think about it. Which again, it goes back to the yes men thing. Nobody ever told him, hey, I don't think you really know what you're doing here. In fact, a bunch of people at Twitter basically telling him, hey, the layout changes that you've been offering, they're not going to work here. They're actually going to make it actively worse. And guess what? We've seen time and time again of technical errors that have been happening on Twitter. Most of them fucking over users as well. There's a whole documented list you can feel like two-factor authentication actually actively locking out users because of some back-end spaghetti code that was actually help running it. The fact that some users were still locked out after the fact, even though they tried to log in multiple time again. A whole myriad of things that happened just because of his implemented changes that basically would have helped the site run faster and more efficiently, only because he wanted his version of X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So yes, the whole thing has been actively getting worse ever since Elon's been on it. From a financial standpoint, from a technological standpoint, from a user-friendly standpoint, everything has been gone down the shitter because of Elon Musk. I will say it today. I will say it until the day I die. You cannot spell Elon Musk without an L. And that is where I'd like to leave off.
And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.